Most men waste years chasing the wrong women. They confuse attention with affection. They confuse temporary excitement with long-term commitment. And by the time they realize the truth, their energy, their focus, and their respect are gone. Here's the harsh reality. Attraction is easy. Flirting is easy. Even intimacy is easy. But commitment, that's rare. A woman who truly wants a serious relationship will not leave you blind, guessing, or confused. She will show it not with words, but with actions. The problem? Most men never learn to see the difference. They mistake mixed signals for genuine intent. They get addicted to the roller coaster of hot and cold behavior. They mistake drama for passion. And in the end, they lose. But listen carefully. A woman who is serious about you moves differently. She invests differently. She plans differently. Her energy isn't scattered. It's focused. She doesn't keep you on standby while entertaining other options. She doesn't play games to keep your attention. She reveals her intention through 7 undeniable signs. And once you learn them, you'll stop wasting time on women who never planned to stay. Ask yourself, how many years have you lost on women who never saw you as more than a distraction? How many times have you ignored the truth because you wanted to believe she was serious? That ends today. Because if a woman truly wants a relationship with you, she'll make it obvious in ways you can't ignore unless you choose to stay blind. This isn't about theory. This is about survival. Your time is your most valuable resource, and the wrong woman will drain it dry. The right woman, however, will build with you, sharpen you, and stand by you. And the difference between the two: awareness. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact 7 behaviors that separate a woman who only wants your attention from a woman who truly wants your commitment. You'll learn how to see past the noise, past the games, and straight into her intentions. And when you do, you'll stop second-guessing and start choosing with clarity. Because clarity is power. And in relationships, it's the power that saves you from wasting years of your life on the wrong woman. So stay until the very end, because sign number 7 is the one almost every man ignores, and it's the clearest test of loyalty you'll ever see. Miss it, and you risk everything. Catch it, and you'll finally know the difference between a woman who's here for a moment and a woman who's here for a lifetime. Gentlemen, sharpen your awareness. Let's begin. Consistency is the foundation of commitment. If a woman truly wants a serious relationship with you, she will not show up one day, vanish the next, and leave you wondering where you stand. She will invest consistently with her time, her energy, and her attention and consistency. Gentlemen is the clearest signal that separates a fling from a future. Here's the reality most men ignore. Any woman can give you a sweet text on a Sunday night, flood you with attention for a weekend, and then disappear into silence for a week. That's not seriousness. That's entertainment. She's not investing in you. She's using you to fill empty space. And too many men confuse that inconsistency for passion. They get hooked on the roller coaster of hot and cold behavior, thinking it's proof of desire. But the truth is simpler. Inconsistency is confusion, and confusion is always a red flag. A serious woman doesn't make you guess. She doesn't leave you chasing scraps of attention. She shows up again and again and again, not in interests, but in steady patterns. Her effort isn't dramatic. It's dependable. And that's the difference. Look closely at the way she communicates. Is she texting you back only when she's bored? Or is she actually engaging with what you say? A serious woman doesn't just reply with empty words. She asks questions. She follows up. She remembers what you mentioned last week and checks in about it today. If you told her you had a big meeting, she asks how it went. If you were sick, she asks if you're better. That's not small talk. That's investment. And it's not just her words, it's her time. If she's serious, she doesn't only see you when it's convenient. She makes space for you. Even when her schedule is busy, she adjusts. She prioritizes. She shows through her actions that you're not just another option. You're part of her plan. That doesn't mean she abandons her life for you. It means she deliberately includes you in it. Here's where most men sabotage themselves. When they finally experience consistency from a woman, they either take it for granted or mistake it as clinginess. They misinterpret steady investment as desperation. Wrong. There's a difference. Clinginess drains you because it comes from insecurity. Consistency strengthens you because it comes from commitment. A desperate woman consumes. A serious woman contributes. This is the uncomfortable truth. If you're still questioning her intentions, it's probably because she's not consistent. A woman who wants something real won't let you live in doubt. Her patterns will answer your questions for you. So ask yourself, is her effort steady, reliable, and clear? Or is it random predictably and filled with excuses because one reveals commitment and the other reveals distraction? Now let's look deeper through the Stoic lens. As men, it's easy to become addicted to chaos. The highs and lows of inconsistent women feed your ego, trick you into chasing validation. But the Stoic man refuses that trap. He doesn't measure attraction by intensity, he measures it by stability. Because only stability can build something worth keeping. When she invests consistently, your job is not to lose yourself in excitement. It's to observe, acknowledge, and remain steady. To see her effort, not as a gift you must worship, but as evidence of her seriousness. That awareness keeps you grounded. That awareness protects your respect. Gentlemen, remember this. Consistency is clarity, and clarity is rare. If her presence is steady, her actions reliable, her attention invested, you're not dealing with a woman who's here for a moment. You're dealing with one who's here for more. But consistency is just the beginning. Because a woman can invest in the present while still leaving the future blank. The real test is whether she starts to weave you into her vision of tomorrow. And that, gentleman, is the second sign, one of the most powerful indicators of true commitment. Or isn't just say, let's grab dinner Friday. She says next month we should check out that new place. She doesn't just talk about what's happening now. She talks about concerts in summer, trips in the fall, or family gatherings in the future. Every time she does, she's revealing something deeper. She imagines you there, and that's not just small talk, that's projection. Women don't invest their future into men they see as temporary. They invest their future into men they see as partners. Here's the subtle giveaway. Language. A casual woman says, a serious woman says, I want to travel there someday. Casual. We should go there next summer. Serious. That small shift is not an accident. It's her way of aligning her life with yours. And if you miss it, you'll keep guessing about her intentions instead of seeing the truth right in front of you. Now, let's be clear. Not every mention of the future means commitment. Some women talk big but never follow through. That's why you must look at actions, not just words. Does she actually stick to the plans she makes? Does she create shared experiences that match what she says? Or does she throw out vague ideas and disappear when it's time to act? A serious woman doesn't just dream, she builds. She doesn't just imagine, she commits. But here's the uncomfortable truth most men ignore. If she never talks about the future, it's because she doesn't see you there. Period. A woman who values you long-term will not keep the future blank. She will fill it with you beside her. If she's avoiding those conversations, it's not because she's shy or it's too early. It's because she doesn't plan on keeping you. Now, through the Stoic lens, here's what matters. The weak man hears future talk and gets overly excited. He assumes it's a guarantee, clings to it, and starts investing blindly. The strong man listens, observes, and compares her words with her actions. He understands that promises are cheap, but consistency is priceless. He doesn't get lost in fantasies, he stays grounded in reality. Because the truth is simple. A woman who is serious about you doesn't just invite you into her present. She places you in her vision of tomorrow. She makes room for you. Not because you begged, not because you pressured, but because in her mind you already belong there. Gentlemen, your time is too valuable to waste on women who never plan to keep you. So ask yourself, does she include you in her future? Or does she keep you locked in the moment? Does she talk about we or only I? Does she commit to plans? Or does she let them fade into empty words? Because when a woman is serious, her future speaks. And if you listen closely, you'll know exactly where you stand. But here's where the test deepens. Future plans are powerful, but words can still be disguised. The next sign cuts sharper. Because a woman who truly wants you long-term won't just include you in her future. She'll hand you something far more dangerous, far more revealing. Her vulnerability and how you respond will determine whether she can trust you with the rest of her life. Attraction might bring her close, but vulnerability is what reveals her true intention. When a woman only sees you as temporary, she keeps her world closed. She talks about her day, complains about work, laughs at jokes, maybe flirts a little. but it never goes deeper. Why? Because vulnerability is risky, and women don't risk their inner world on men they don't take seriously. But when a woman wants a serious relationship, something changes. She begins to lower the walls. She lets you see what others don't. Her fears, her insecurities, her childhood stories, her private dreams. This isn't casual chatter. This is trust. And trust. Gentleman is the highest currency in a relationship. Here's the truth most men miss. When she opens up emotionally, she's not just sharing. She's testing. She's asking silently, "Can you handle all of me? Can you stand steady in front of my storms, my flaws, my truth without judgment? Without weakness?" Most men fail here. They hear her problems and rush to fix everything as if her heart is a broken machine. Or worse, they dismiss her feelings because it makes them uncomfortable. Both mistakes destroy trust. Because what she's looking for isn't a mechanic or a judge. She's looking for an anchor. A man who can listen without losing himself. A man who can hold space for her truth without falling apart. And this is where the Stoic frame separates the weak from the strong. The weak man gets overwhelmed. He panics at her tears. He feels pressured by her fears. He tries to fix, control, or escape the strong man. He remains calm. He listens. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't judge. He doesn't try to control her emotions. Nor does he get swept away by them. He simply stays present, steady, and composed. And that's exactly what proves to her that she chose the right man. Because understand this, when a woman opens up emotionally, she's not just revealing her heart. She's handing you power. She's showing you where she's most fragile, and she's watching carefully to see how you respond. Abuse that trust, and she'll close forever. Respect it, and she'll see you as a man she can build with. Notice the small ways this plays out. She tells you about her family struggles. She admits she's insecure about something. She shares a dream she hasn't told anyone else. She lets you see her tears after a hard day. That's not weakness. That's investment. She's giving you access to her inner world, a privilege no casual man gets. And here's another clue. Watch how she handles conflict. A woman who doesn't care will avoid the hard conversations. She won't bother fixing issues because you're not worth the effort. But a serious woman, she brings up problems directly. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it risks tension, because in her mind, you're not temporary. You're worth working through it with. Gentlemen, don't miss this. If she's emotionally open, if she trusts you with her fears, her flaws, and her truth, take it seriously. This is not a game. This is not casual. This is her way of saying, "I'm not auditioning anymore. I've already chosen you." End of 4. Now the question becomes, can you hold that responsibility? Because every woman can laugh with you, but only a serious woman will cry in front of you. Every woman can flirt, but only a serious woman will reveal her scars. And when she does, your strength or your weakness will decide whether that trust grows or dies. So remember this, vulnerability is the highest proof of commitment. Don't run from it. Don't abuse it. Respect it. Because when she lets you in emotionally, she's not just opening up, she's inviting you into her future. And that future becomes clearer in the next sign. Because once she trusts you with her heart, she'll start to shift her world around you. And when you stop being an option and start becoming a priority, that's when you'll know her intentions beyond any doubt. Every man needs to understand this truth. In a world full of distractions, priority is proof. A woman can say all the right words. She can laugh at your jokes. She can enjoy your company, but if you're never at the center of her time and energy, you're not a priority. You're just an option. And an option, gentlemen, is a dangerous place to be. Here's what most men get wrong. They accept crumbs of attention. They wait days for a reply. They settle for last-minute plans. They justify her distance by saying she's just busy. They blind themselves to the reality because they don't want to face the truth. They're not important enough to her, and by tolerating it, they lower their value and destroy their self-respect. But when a woman is serious, you'll feel the difference immediately. She doesn't fit you into leftover space. She makes space for you. She doesn't just see you when it's convenient. She rearranges her schedule to see you. Even if she's busy, even if her life is full, she carves out time. Why? Because people always make time for what truly matters to them. And it's not just about time, it's about presence. A serious woman doesn't multitask her way through your moments together. She doesn't treat you as background noise. She shows up fully. When you talk, she listens. When you need her, she's there. Not as an obligation, but as a choice. Because in her mind, you're not just another man. You're her man. Look at the way she responds to your needs. If you're sick, does she check in? Maybe even show up with something to help. If you're stressed, does she make the effort to listen instead of brushing it off? If you have something important in your life, an event, a challenge, a victory, does she stand beside you, encourage you, celebrate with you? That's what prioritization looks like. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Too many men chase women who are constantly too busy for them. They rationalize, they wait, they hope. Meanwhile, her actions scream the truth. She's not prioritizing you because she doesn't see you as long-term, and no amount of chasing will change that. Now let's take this through the Stoic lens. As a man, your duty is not to beg for priority. Your duty is to observe and accept the truth. A weak man clings harder when he feels neglected. A strong man steps back. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't chase validation. He measures respect by her actions. And if those actions don't show priority, he walks because he knows his value, and he refuses to be an afterthought. Understand this clearly. When a woman is serious about you, you won't have to fight for her time. You won't have to wonder where you stand. Her prioritization will answer that question for you loudly and consistently. And when you experience it, you'll know the difference instantly. It feels steady. It feels intentional. It feels like you matter. So ask yourself honestly, are you being treated as a priority or as an option? Is she carving space for you? Or are you surviving on her leftovers? Because a serious woman pulls you into the center of her world while a casual one leaves you on the sidelines. Gentlemen, remember this. A woman who cannot prioritize you does not deserve you. Because if you're not valued now, you won't be valued later. And respect once compromised cannot be recovered. But prioritization doesn't end with time and presence. The next sign goes deeper. Because when a woman truly wants her future with you, she won't keep you hidden. She won't treat you like a secret. Instead, she'll pull you into her inner circle, revealing that you're not just a part of her life, you're a part of her world. Casual women keep you in the shadows. Serious women bring you into the light. And if you pay attention, this single detail will reveal more about her intentions than any words ever could. Think about it. A woman who only sees you as temporary will keep her world separated. She'll laugh with you, text you, even spend nights with you. But you'll never meet the people who truly matter to her. You won't know her close friends. You won't be around her family. And if you do cross paths with them by accident, she'll downplay who you are. That's not seriousness. That's compartmentalization. But when a woman wants a serious relationship, she does the opposite. She starts weaving you into her world. She introduces you to her closest friends, the ones whose opinions she actually values. She brings you around her family, even if it's just casually at first. She doesn't hide you. She reveals you. And that shift changes everything. Why? Because women are protective of their inner circle. They don't casually bring men into it. To let you step into that space is to take a risk of judgment, of vulnerability, of alignment. She wants to see how you fit. She wants to know whether the people she trusts can also trust you. That's not something a woman does for entertainment. That's something she does for a future. Pay close attention here. If her friends already know about your life, your work, your habits before you've even told them yourself, that means she's been talking about you. She's proud of you. She wants people close to her to know who you are. That's not what women do with temporary men. That's what they do with men. They see as potential partners. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If months go by and she still keeps you hidden, if you're never invited to gatherings, if her friends barely know you exist, then you're not as important to her as you think. Serious women don't hide their man. They reveal him. If she's hiding you, it's because she doesn't plan to keep you. Now, through the Stoic lens, here's what matters. A weak man will mistake being introduced to friends as the ultimate prize. He'll overvalue it, thinking it's a guarantee of permanence. But the strong man knows better. He sees it for what it is, a sign of intention, not a final destination. He doesn't lose himself in excitement. He stays grounded, steady, and watchful. He knows that being introduced to her world is only meaningful if it's consistent with her other actions, her loyalty, her support, her prioritization. Gentlemen, Don't miss this. Being brought into her circle isn't just about access, it's about alignment. She's showing you you're not just part of my private moments, you're part of my bigger picture. And if you see that, respect it, but also test it. Watch how her actions align over time. Watch whether you remain a central part of her world or whether you're slowly pushed back into the shadows. Because a woman who is serious about you doesn't just want you in her private life. She wants you in her public life. She wants you recognized. She wants the people who matter to her to know that you matter to her. So ask yourself, is she proud to show you to her world? Or does she keep you hidden in the dark? Because the answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know about her intentions. But introduction is only part of the equation. The deeper test comes next. Because a serious woman doesn't just reveal her world to you. She actively pushes you to grow, to sharpen, to rise higher. And that's the difference between a woman who wants comfort and a woman who wants partnership. Most men chase women who keep them comfortable. But comfort is not commitment. Comfort is stagnation. And stagnation is death to a man's mission. Understand this. A woman who only sees you as temporary doesn't care about your growth. She doesn't care about your discipline, your ambition, your purpose. She only cares about the moments, the laughs, the dates, the short-term fun. The second your goals take time away from her, she complains. The second your focus shifts, she feels neglected. That's not support. That's distraction. But when a woman truly wants a serious relationship, her behavior is different. She aligns herself with your mission. She encourages you to rise higher. She doesn't compete with your goals. She contributes to them. She doesn't drain your energy with drama. She fuels your energy with belief. And that, gentleman, is the mark of a partner, not a passenger. Look closely at how she responds when you share your vision. If she's casual, she'll nod, smile, maybe say, "That's nice," and change the subject back to herself. But if she's serious, she'll lean in. She'll ask questions. She'll offer ideas. She'll remind you of your potential when you doubt yourself. She'll celebrate your wins, even the small ones, because she understands your success is tied to the relationship's strength. Support shows up in small details. If you're working late on a project, she doesn't guilt-trip you for not texting back. She respects your grind. If you're building discipline in the gym, she encourages your effort instead of tempting you to skip. And sometimes she'll challenge you directly. She'll call you out when you're being lazy. She'll push you when you're slipping. Not to tear you down, but to sharpen you because she sees the man you can become. And here's the key. A woman who sharpens you is a woman who believes in you. That's not criticism. That's commitment. That's her saying, "I see more in you than you see in yourself." Now let's filter this through the Stoic lens. The weak man resents being challenged. His ego can't handle it. He gets defensive, he argues, he collapses under pressure. But the strong man, he welcomes it. He recognizes that iron sharpens iron, and a woman who pushes him higher is not attacking him. She's investing in him. He doesn't rely on her for his discipline, but he respects her for respecting his mission. Gentlemen, remember this truth. The wrong woman will distract you from your path. The right woman will align with it. The wrong woman will demand your attention at the cost of your goals. The right woman will support your goals because she knows they elevate both of you. So ask yourself, does she celebrate your growth, or does she compete with it? Does she respect your discipline, or does she try to break it? Does she push you forward or pull you backward? The answers to these questions will reveal her true intentions faster than any word she speaks. Because a serious woman doesn't want to stand in your way. She wants to stand beside you, sharpening you, growing with you, building a future where both of you rise. That's the difference between a partner and a distraction. But even support has its limits because at the end of the day, words of encouragement are easy to say. The real test comes down to action. And the final sign is the one most men ignore. The one that reveals whether she's truly committed for the long haul. It's not about attention. It's not about plans. It's not even about growth. It's about loyalty. And without loyalty, nothing else matters. Loyalty is the ultimate proof. Attraction can be faked, sweet words can be rehearsed, even support can be temporary. But loyalty, the kind that shows up when it's hardest to stay, cannot be faked. And if a woman truly wants a serious relationship with you, her loyalty will be written in her actions, not just her promises. Here's the reality. Any woman can tell you she cares. Any woman can promise she's committed, but words are cheap, actions are evidence. And a serious woman proves herself when no one is watching. Think about it. A casual woman keeps her options open. She still entertains other men, still flirts online, still leaves back doors open just in case. You'll feel it in the way she behaves. That subtle uncertainty, that lingering doubt, that inconsistency that makes you wonder where you stand. That's not loyalty. That's hedging bets. But a serious woman, she closes those doors on her own. She doesn't need backup plans because she's chosen you. She doesn't keep men orbiting in her DMs. She doesn't flirt for attention when you're not around. She invests fully, not because you demanded it, not because you threatened her, but because she decided you're worth it. That's real loyalty. And loyalty isn't just about physical exclusivity. It shows up in deeper ways. Watch how she defends you when you're not around. Does she stand up for you when others criticize, or does she stay silent? Watch how she handles conflict with you. Does she use arguments as an excuse to run away, to punish you, to dangle ultimatums? Or does she fight to fix things because she sees the bond as worth protecting? This is the uncomfortable truth. A woman who is serious about you doesn't weaponize conflict. She doesn't play games with loyalty. She doesn't threaten to leave every time things get hard. Instead, she works through it because in her mind, commitment is non-negotiable. Now, through the Stoic lens, here's what matters most. Weak men get blinded by words. They believe declarations over demonstrations. They hear, "I love you," and take it as enough. Strong men don't. They measure actions, not speeches. They stay calm, they observe, and they recognize that loyalty is proven when times are tough, not when everything is easy. Gentlemen, remember this. Loyalty is not what she says in comfort. It's what she does in conflict. It's not who she is when everyone is watching. It's who she is when no one is. And if you pay attention, her patterns will tell you everything. So ask yourself, does she keep her focus on you? Or does she still leave cracks in the door for others? Does she fight through the storms? Or does she abandon ship when the waters get rough? Does she prove her commitment daily? Or does she just talk about it when convenient? Because when a woman is truly serious, loyalty isn't optional. It's instinct. It's automatic. It's her way of saying, "I've chosen you, and I will continue to choose you, no matter how hard it gets." And here's the final truth. If you don't have her loyalty, you don't have her commitment. Without it, everything else, the consistency, the plans, the support collapses. With it, everything else strengthens. That's why this is the ultimate sign, the one most men overlook, the one that decides whether you're building on rock or on sand. But now the question is this. Once you recognize these 7 signs, what do you do with them? How do you act as a man? When you see the difference between attention and commitment, the answer, gentlemen, is what separates those who waste years from those who build legacies. And that's exactly what I'll reveal in the outro. Now you know the truth. 7 signs that separate a woman who's just passing time from a woman who's truly ready to build something real. Consistency, future plans, emotional openness, prioritization, inclusion into her world, support for your growth, and loyalty through action. Together, they reveal her true intention. Most men waste years ignoring these signals. They confuse attention with commitment, comfort with partnership, words with actions. And by the time they realize the truth, it's too late. Don't let that be your story. Gentlemen, your time is your most valuable resource. Don't spend it on women who never plan to keep you. If she doesn't show these 7 signs, she's not serious. Accept it. Walk away. Protect your respect. But when you do see these signs, recognize them for what they are. Proof of commitment. Proof that she's not here for a moment. She's here for the long haul. That's the difference between wasting years and building a legacy. So here's your challenge. Drop a comment below right now and write, "I choose clarity." Because clarity is power. And in relationships, power belongs to the man who sees what others are blind to. If you found value in this, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because what you learned today is just the beginning. Attraction is common, commitment is rare, and on this channel, we teach you to stop chasing illusions and start commanding respect. Gentlemen, choose clarity, choose strength, and I'll see you in the next video.